Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Belichick's Bitches podcast, the number one podcast in the world using some sort of metric. Using the best source, the only source. Do trust me. I'm your host, Brennan, and along with me, as always, is my co host, Tyler.
Okay, when you were doing that intro, I'm on ESPN's website looking at just random stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me why this ad popped up and it was like 10 times the sound of your voice. Scared the
I don't know.
absolute hell out of me. All right,
I
so
bet the Backstreet Boys could tell you why,
it's a
though.
no, we're not doing this today, especially on a so y'all probably wondering why we're releasing on a Friday. Well, you can thank COVID, football, as well as our laziness. The fact that we just had stuff going on the past few
Our
days.
laziness and schedules, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to we don't have a schedule.
Finals, yay. At least for me.
Yeah, I
still
finished my finals.
I still need to finish some stuff. It's all my stuff's due on Sunday.
Tragic. I'm on my break until second week of January. But so it was actually a pretty decent week. There wasn't any like exciting games besides like two or three really. I get to cover two Patriots games today. That's awesome. Not really.
I mean,
But
you could just saved it for next week since it's for next week.
we already did it. It's already. We might as well talk about it. But I think we'll start off with the Saints and Falcons game. And wow, Taysom Hill finally threw a touchdown. Took him long enough.
I could have sworn he had already thrown a touchdown before that, but I guess I was wrong.
Got a bunch of rushing ones and a good amount of receiving ones, but he's never thrown the football for a touchdown. He threw two,
Yep.
Which was pretty cool to see. One was
You could tell he
easy,
really
like,
wanted that third.
Yeah, like the first one was like the guy was like open
Wide
like
open.
10 yards. Second one was a really good throw. He threw it right. I'll admit I didn't think they'd win all three games under Taysom. I know they didn't play the best competition.
Yeah, I mean, they played Atlanta twice and a quarterbackless Denver team, so.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think you can say the team's better under Taysom Hill.
The team's
definitely
more dynamic.
Exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, he's definitely
the
exceeded my
offenses.
expectations, yeah.
But his arm is definitely not suited for the deep ball.
No.
I don't know if that's something you can develop, especially when you're already 31.
I can't tell if Taysom Hill is elite at quarterback sneaks or Atlanta is just absolutely terrible at stopping them.
Atlanta's terrible at a lot of things this season. But for me personally, I think if Breeze isn't fully ready to go, I don't see why you don't sit him until playoffs. And the NFC is pretty much just beating on each other.
They've already clinched playoff berth.
Mine does. I mean, I know they want to go for that number one seed, but
I mean, if they're playing the Eagles this week, they don't need to start Breeze.
That's what I'm saying. I think Breeze can, with the way Taysom's playing. I feel like he can sit on the bench, and I feel like with how good Taysom's been playing, I feel like Taysom's the starter next season. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Their remaining schedule is Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings, Panthers. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's the website being dumb. So Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings, Panthers.
I mean, that Chiefs game's going to be really good. I can't wait to watch that. It's going to be a fun game. But yeah, I feel Taysom surprised me. I'll be honest. He's impressed me.
Yeah. I have questions about his ball security though as a runner. He fumbled twice during that Atlanta game.
He definitely runs a little
wonky.
I mean, but he does run like a position player, like a skilled position player. He doesn't really run like a quarterback, which is something he'll learn.
Yeah.
As he plays more quarterback, if he gets hit a little bit harder, he'll realize, I probably should slide there, just to make sure he preserves his body. Which, I mean, at the same time, he's already what, 31? So
yeah, he's either at 30 or like on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah. The Browns-Titans game. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. I watched the highlights.
Oh, that game was so fun.
He is 30, yes.
First of all, 30. I don't know why I kept saying 30, 31. Can I just say this, bro? The Browns in the first half looked unstoppable. They were running the ball well. They were throwing it really well. I don't know what. Someone lit a fire under Baker's ass before the game. He was on fire. He threw that strike to Donovan Peoples-Jones. It was great. Uh, but the Titans made a comeback. I feel like everyone kind of turned the game off, including me.
Yeah.
After halftime, but Titans made a nice comeback. They almost sent it to overtime.
Yeah.
About an extra possession away.
The Browns' pass defense is extremely sus. Extremely sus.
I just thought of Among Us there for a minute. Corey Davis had like a really quiet game. I think AJ Brown got hurt. I don't know what his injury status is, but he got hurt like in the second quarter.
I wasn't very appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Being an AJ Brown fantasy owner.
Um,
Also,
it was a good game.
I just want to mention Chubb is still a beast. He's top 5 in rushing yards, even with missing 5 games and splitting a backfield with Kareem Hunt.
The announcers were talking about that. The Browns said, Kevin Stefanski said that he really wants both running backs to get over 1,000 yards rushing this season, and they're on track to do it.
Wow. Will that be the first time we've ever seen a backfield have 2 1,000-yard rushers?
No, it's happened a few times. It happened the last in like 2002 or 2001. It has happened before. I know Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson did it.
Of course. Of course it was Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson that have done it. Yeah, that makes sense.
And there was a couple other they said, but it would be the first time since like 2000.
Yeah, in the modern era.
Yeah, it's been crazy. And those two are going to be together at least next season, possibly longer. It's definitely there. I mean, I don't think you can even come close to another running back duo.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't even think there's anything close to it. Really. And Kareem Hunt, what used to be a top 5 back, and Chubb is a top 5 back. I mean, it's ridiculous. So Glennon is trying to mess up the tank in Jacksonville. He's doing his best.
He still
Really
looks like Mike Glennon though.
Hey, man, Glennon, he's that dude though. He sucks, but he's fun to watch. I like watching Glennon. He's the most safe, dumb quarterback I've ever met, and I love it. I mean, that probably makes no sense. But
did anyone else like turn off like the audio for that game? I just can't stand that announcer's voice.
Who was it? I don't remember.
I don't know what her name is, but it was that like she has like the really raspy voice.
Is it the one that does the SEC games?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh no! See, I can't do her. No.
I don't like her voice. I just mute it.
She does baseball sometimes, right? And I'm trying to watch baseball because I'm trying to get into baseball. Mm-hmm. No. I can't do it. There's like 2 announcers that I just can't do. It's her and Joe Buck.
Joe Buck, yep.
Joe Buck, man, he one of the best announcers all times by his career accolades, but Jesus, his voice is so monotone. Can't handle it. I can't do it. He'd have some excitement.
Yeah.
You know? Boring announcers just
meant to be entertaining. Come on now, put some effort into it.
I'm saying, like especially remember the best example was when Derrick Henry had that 99-yard touchdown against Jacksonville, and Joe Buck was like, he could go. As he's literally stiff arming half the Jaguars team. Yeah, he could go. Oh, like really, man? Really? Oh, dude. Man. And we're moving on. That was some bullshit. Dude, I swear, there's a thing, man. Anytime a coach gets fired, I always pick that team to win next week. I don't know why. It always works out. It just does.
Revitalize locker room, perhaps.
I guess because they realize that they could be next on the way out.
That's true, yeah.
Detroit beat Chicago, which I guess that's really not much to brag about, but beat Chicago. Man, remember when Chicago was like undefeated, 4-5-0? Remember that? I remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yes, they do.
Poor Chicago, man.
Is Cordero Patterson the best returner in the NFL? He might be.
Best kick returner of all time.
Of all
Kick
time.
returner. Kick returner. Not punt returner. Before someone comes at me with Josh Cribbs or Devin Hester. Kick returner. Best kick returner of all time. I will die on that hill.
All right.
I don't know why. He just has no reason being as good at kickoffs as he is. I will stand by the best kickoff returner of all time.
And going back to the Minnesota game real quick, I had 2 questions. Dalvin Cook for Offensive Player of the Year?
My fantasy team says yes. Fantasy team appreciates Dalvin.
I think he definitely deserves it.
I agree, but I have a gut feeling they're going to give MVP to like Rodgers or Mahomes, and they're going to give Offensive Player of the Year
to the runner-up.
Yeah, just out of I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I know this award is probably going to go to Herbert, but I think Justin Jefferson definitely deserves Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and Justin Jefferson has been crazy. You know what's crazy? Justin Jefferson wasn't even the best receiver on his college team.
Nope, he was a 2-star recruit.
But like when he left LSU, he wasn't even the best receiver from that team.
Nope.
He's this good, and he's this good in the NFL. Imagine how good Jamar Chase is going to be in the NFL.
Dude, Jamar Chase is a beast. I can't wait to see him next year.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 1. Although Alabama fans would like to argue otherwise when they don't even watch LSU football or have. Well, I guess this year he's not playing, but they've never.
Devontae Smith is a great receiver.
Yes, I agree. Devonta Smith and Jalen Water are wide receiver 2 and 3 respectively. Jamar Chase is wide receiver 1.
Yeah,
it's just that.
Even with his year off, you just can't get around it. Did you watch Texans Colts?
No.
No.
I said no.
No. Okay, you cut out there for a second. Yeah, I didn't either. I'll be honest. What is my mic doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
My mic is wonking.
So going back to the Lions Bears game, since you keep wanting to just move past before I'm done.
Well, you know what? Stop me then.
All right, I will now. Should or do you think Allen Robinson actually re-signs in Chicago since his contract is up this season?
There it is. No way in hell. Why would he do that to himself? I mean, the team.
I mean, we say that about a lot of players. We said that about Deshaun Watson.
Like, the team obviously doesn't care enough about him. And I have a feeling the Bears are in for a pretty long rebuild, especially with their cap situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
Them and the Eagles.
I mean, they have a really good defense. Don't get me wrong. Well, a solid defense. They have Mack, Jackson, a bunch of other guys.
Even though he opted out.
But they really need a season, I think, in my opinion, like next season, to just find a quarterback. Trubisky's not the answer. Foles is definitely not the answer.
Yeah. They don't have the answer on that roster, that's for sure.
Tyler Bray. You didn't even know that was the third string of the Bears, Tyler Bray. I think he's like a Matt Nagy.
Probably.
He's almost like a coach. He's almost like a coach type guy. Yeah, I really do think that the Bears. But see, the thing is, the Bears have won too many games to really be in that top 5 pick.
Do they trade up again?
No, I'm like 90% sure like Chicago people in Chicago would riot if they did it again. I feel like they should be like. I feel like there's 2 teams should be in the running for Mac Jones / Kyle Trask, and I feel like it's Patriots and Bears. I feel like they should both be in the running for both those quarterbacks.
You could
because they're not going to be
throw
top 10.
Vikings in there too.
The Vikings could. Although Kirk Cousins is so infuriating because he's good for 8 games a year and then he's terrible 8 games a year.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, doesn't make your team better, but he doesn't make your team worse. He's that type of quarterback. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of teams that should look at Mac Jones because I feel like Mac Jones would fit into most offenses.
Oh yeah,
I feel like Trask.
he's not like extremely athletically gifted or anything like that. His best trait is that he knows where to go with the ball.
And that's the thing. I mean, you can teach a lot of other things, but you can't teach the mental game that Mac Jones had. And Kyle Trask, in my opinion, I don't know if it's just because Florida is on like some type of roll this year, or if it's because it's like his second or third year with Dan Mullen or whatever. But there is something going on with Trask. He is a monster on there in Florida. I don't think he's getting him enough credit this season, despite his numbers. No, because they don't run the ball much in Florida. So he's getting a lot of, he's the entire offense, but he's good enough to carry the offense. I really like what Kyle Trask is, and I honestly think I prefer him over Mac Jones. I feel like a hot take. I kind of think.
I mean, I can see why you definitely take that, but Kyle Trask also has a lot to work on. At the same time,
yeah, he does. Since it took him so long to beat out Felipe Franks for the job,
and he never started a game in high school.
That's so Tom Brady like though, which is weird. That's so Tom Brady like.
Okay, calm down. Calm down.
No, I'm not talking about Brady talent. I'm talking about the way he got there.
Okay.
Thing. Yeah, because Brady didn't play much in high school, and then he kind of went there for baseball, and then he started playing quarterback.
But speaking of Florida, while we're on that topic, real quick, Kyle Pitts, man, that stat I sent you earlier from Pro Football Focus.
Pitts literally is the most unstoppable tight end prospect I think we've seen in a while.
He's got to be my favorite prospect since I started scouting that tight end. 92% of his catches earned a first down or a touchdown.
I seriously don't remember
2%.
I don't remember a tight end earning this much like excitement. I mean, even TJ Hawkinson, like he was a top 10 pick, yeah, but he wasn't this good in college. No, I mean, I seriously can't think of another tight end that's this hyped we've seen in a while.
I mean, OJ Howard was pretty hyped, but I wouldn't say it's nearly as much as Kyle Pitts is.
You could make a case,
and I definitely think Kyle Pitts has definitely shown a lot more than OJ Howard ever did at Bama.
You can make a case for Ebron, but Ebron was never at the level Kyle Pitts is at in Florida.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like Pitts isn't going to be available past pick 10. Whenever you see a tight end with even half this hype, they're picked in the top 10. Because tight end is really hard to groom in the NFL.
That's true. Current top 10 picks, however, are Jets, Jags, Bengals, Cowboys, Chargers, Eagles, Panthers, Falcons, Dolphins, and Broncos.
I could see any team after like pick 4 picking Pitts.
I mean, if you want to go for a weird pick that might happen just because it's this team and who knows what the heck they're going to do, maybe Kyle Pitts to Dallas.
Bro, I do not want to see Kyle Pitts in Dallas. Don't do that to me.
Maybe
stop talking about Florida and Kyle Pitts because
in the top 10,
it's going to be an hour.
In the top 10, I can see Dallas, Carolina, or
Carolina
Miami.
would be a good fit.
I
think Carolina would be.
Carolina would definitely be the best fit. I'd agree.
Because you have a college type coach in Matt Rule, who has shown that his offense is already really speedy. They don't really have a guy that's there to pick up the first downs. They have a lot of speed, but they don't have that go-to third down target. That's
especially
what
with
Kyle
McCaffrey
Pitts
out.
would be. Yeah. That's what Kyle Pitts would be, and they would take so much pressure off of McCaffrey. It would allow McCaffrey to just kind of move wherever he wants.
Oh yeah.
So maybe move him to the slot a little bit and kick out Samuel and more. Anderson on the sideline for a couple plays, or make a Robbie Anderson expendable by playing McCaffrey so much again. You can replace Anderson, who has a pretty hefty contract, with a speed demon receiver again, which is what they do in Carolina, and move on. Just not to Mary Bird.
You mean the go and hook route? Master.
Dude, he's like Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech, except he doesn't produce. He just runs two routes. He runs a comeback and he runs a straight route, and that's it. That's it. Doesn't run any other route. Doesn't even run slant routes.
Also, can we give a quick applause to Tyler here for getting featured on Ryan Moody's channel?
That was funny as hell. No, and see, but not even good because the play was terrible. But
He didn't even
whatever.
put commentary over it. That's the funny part. He just sent the raw
Doesn't have.
video.
He doesn't even have to.
I
Like,
know.
he doesn't even have.
I mean,
to.
usually you see like he does a little bit of commentary. That one it was just like the raw video completely. He just uploaded that by itself. The title was perfect though because of what the announcer said. Boy,
Oh,
was
he's
he
close.
close.
He's close as I'm picking a defensive play. Yeah, that was some bullshit. It was so stupid. I had the first down, man. And in that league game, I was gonna lose anyway because the other guy was good. But like, damn, man, that sucked. Poor Moody. He said, "Email it to me." Okay, man. Yeah, Colts beat the Texans. There really wasn't much to talk about. That Kiki Kute had his best game as a pro. He's playing for wide receiver one snaps. He actually played pretty well. That's literally all I could say about that game. Kiki Kute went off.
Colts are in a make or break game this week for playoffs against
They're playing.
Raiders.
Two of the most inconsistent teams in the league.
Yep.
Not bad. Either be really legendary or just complete barn burner. Be both.
Very true.
Yeah, I think I'll give the Raiders a credit. Like,
I think I'll give the Colts because at least the Colts have shown to have a defense.
yeah, but the offense is so suspect.
So is the Raiders' defense.
True. I mean, they did almost let the Jets beat them, so I guess you're correct on that.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Greg Williams calling a coverage zero on the last play of the game and putting a rookie cornerback on Henry Ruggs, and for some reason Lamar Jackson, the rookie cornerback, he bit on Henry Ruggs' fake to the underneath. On the last play of the game, Lamar Jackson bites on an underneath route on the last play of the game. And just
Might
gets
as well talk
burned
about
by
that
Ruggs.
now. Okay. You can't say anything to tell me that was not 100% intentional. There's literally nothing nobody can. No, I don't care that Williams has a history of being aggressive in those Hail Mary situations. Like someone brought it up from like 2010 or 2011. I don't care. He went out. He either got the message, or he got someone said you better lose this game. I feel like them parting was just kind of a hand him a blank check, pat him on the back, and get out.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to come back anyway.
I
I don't think this is the last of Greg Williams.
I hope it is.
Because his defense before this incident wasn't the issue with the Jets. Defense was never really the issue. They've been playing a lot better than what they have.
I'll give him credit where credit's due. Quinnen Williams has been having a great second year. That wasn't expected.
No one's talked about it because he's on the Jets, so rightfully so. He's been the best player on that team by far.
I was not
he's
expecting
played well.
Like
lost weight.
his rookie year is what I was expecting. He tried to win with his pure strength, which doesn't work in the NFL. But he's definitely improved his moveset a ton, and his motor
He's also
seems a lot better.
slimmed.
Yeah, he's also slimmed down.
And he's turned into a three technique. He can play nose. He's not afraid to rush the passer, and so he's really developed his pass rush. I like it, and his run stuffing is still elite. It was last. His run stuffing last year was great. No one really talked about it. His run stuffing was great this year too. So Quinnen Williams, yeah, I feel like Greg Williams again. I don't think he was the problem with the Jets. I feel like they used him as a scapegoat because, well, it was a shock play and. I mean, it was a stupid decision, but I don't think it was the decision Greg Williams would have normally made. If it's his last job in the NFL, I bet you he got a nice sum to getting the Jets that number one pick. I bet you that check was nice. So, Bengals and Dolphins played. In other news, some people chose to watch grass grow for 3 hours.
A a
Yeah,
the guy I put in my top 10 linebackers at the beginning of the season had a great game, Mr. Van
Van
Noy.
Noy.
Do you remember
For some
that?
reason, for some reason, I don't know why. For the game, he was talking about he really wanted 3 sacks. He knew he was going against the Bengals O line. Well, he got it, 3 sacks. He was just everywhere for the Dolphins. It's the only other really thing that happened that game. Did you see? I don't know if you watched it.
No.
Jakeem Grant was fielding a punt,
Oh yeah, I
and
saw that. Yeah.
he called for the fair catch and got freaking destroyed as he caught the ball by a Bengals gunner. I don't know
And
what his
everyone on
name
both
was.
sides of each team rushed the field in defense of their own teammates, except for the Bengals offensive line because they don't protect
I
anything.
did see that. Yeah, but Flores was incensed. He had to be held back by like 2 players because he was going right at the guy that hit Jakeem Grant. He was lasered on him, and both guys were just holding him back. And Flores was a former linebacker, so
Yeah.
holding him back's not easy. The big boy. They got him back, but damn man, it was crazy. I love seeing Flores step up for his guy. He's done a lot better with Miami than
Oh
I
yeah.
think anyone could have predicted. I mean, last season they won 5 games when they should have won 2, and then this season they go out there and they're a playoff team. Just a playoff team for no reason. I mean, they're just that good. I mean, he's been doing it with quarterback inconsistency. He's got Fitzpatrick and Tua.
Running basically
Running
two
game is
quarterback offense at this point.
his
Somehow.
running. The running backs aren't anything to write home about. Receivers are okay. I mean, Devontae Parker's having a good year. Williams hasn't had the second year that I was expecting
That
out of
most
him. I
people
was
expected
expecting
him,
a lot
yeah,
more.
because he had a great.
I was
Wentz had a
expecting
great
he was
rookie season.
he was my breakout player, one of my breakout players of the year. He hasn't really had it. Nothing about the Dolphins should scream playoff, but hey man, they're crazy. They've been doing really good. I think you predicted something about. Oh God, what did I do?
You always mess up the Google Doc. Oh my! Stop! Just stop! Just stop!
There, it's
Just
fixed.
do a bunch of Control Z's. Control Z.
Uh,
No, Control Z. You gotta press them
and
both. No, you gotta press Control then press Z simultaneously. Oh my lord, you're retarded.
anyway,
Jeez.
I think you talked about this possibility.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the season, like I think it was in our actual like prediction episode for the NFC side. I had mentioned that in my first actual draft of the NFC East, I had Giants winning the division at 8-8, and then I scrapped it for some reason and put the Cowboys at 10-6. I should have gone with my gut. Giants at 8
Oh,
and 8.
oh, if you only knew the season you we were in for.
I know. I was like, that's a bit. I mean, I went game by game, and I was like, I did game by game, but that just doesn't look right. Apparently, it was.
But yeah, they shocked the Seahawks pretty badly. Colt McCoy, Colt McCoy. I didn't even know he was on the Giants until this week. He went out there and won the game. Seattle just beat themselves.
Yeah.
The Seattle defense is terrible.
Continues to be
so
terrible.
bad.
Yeah,
It.
not surprised.
They're still running that base coverage where they're sitting in like 4-3 a lot, and Adams isn't really having the best season. The Jets almost. Are we talking about the Jets possibly winning that Jamal Adams trade? Because he has not looked good in Seattle.
I mean, I think
Looks
there's definitely an argument for
okay.
the Jets winning that trade.
The Jets might have swindled the Seahawks because the Seahawks pick is going to be pretty valuable.
It's
going to be a
I
lot
think
more
it's
valuable.
at 25 right now. I think that pick is currently at 25, but it definitely has the ability
Seahawks
to drop.
Yeah, the Seahawks are definitely gonna. And then I've been really impressed with it, honestly. McCoy looked decent. I actually picked up Wayne Gallman for fantasy since my running back's out. So Wayne Gallman can do something.
Yeah, with
There's a
NFC
huge
West,
risk.
Rams are in first at 9-4. Seattle is in second at 8-4.
They've won 8 games.
Yes, and
Does
their
not feel
remaining
like they've won 8 games.
schedule. Where's the Seahawks? There it is. The remaining schedule is the Jets, football team, Rams, and Niners.
Ew.
So they're probably still going to make playoffs.
Yeah, but I've been really Seattle. I don't think they're gonna go far. Russell Wilson, his cooking has definitely been the best the past 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's probably
I
not
think
gonna
teams
get
have
an
started to
MVP vote this
realize
year.
have started to realize with when they since the Seahawks don't really have a true tight end, they don't really have a true, in my opinion, receiver that can like go out and get the ball over the middle.
Mhm.
If you can shut down their deep passing game, they're pretty bad
Yeah.
offense. Their running attack's pretty good, but pretty one dimensional. It's like another team that exists sadly this season. So
Can I start off with the stat? Can I
go
start?
ahead.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
we're gonna be talking about the. Actually, no. I'm gonna just start off with the stats to introducing the teams first. So there are only 2 teams in the NFL that rank both top 10 in offense and defense this season. The Rams, who currently are first in place in their division, and the Chargers, who are currently last place in their division. The difference? Special teams. The Chargers have the 30th ranked special teams unit in the NFL by DVOA standards.
Oh Jesus!
Special teams is important. Not San Diego. Chargers. I'm just gonna say Chargers because I'm so used to saying San Diego still. Chargers. You should know this by now. Special teams is a part of football. Special teams is very important. I don't know how you haven't figured this out yet. You think you would have learned after your season with the number 1 offense and number 1 defense in the NFL, but the 32 ranked special teams and still miss playoffs.
Yeah, let's just say the Patriots. I wouldn't say New England beat the Chargers. I would say that the Chargers beat themselves because realistically, our special teams unit could have been the only unit to show up, and we would have still won the game.
Yeah.
We scored 2 touchdowns on special teams. Gunnar Olszewski, I know you don't know this because you don't really follow a lot of Patriots fans. A lot of Patriots fans have been riding on him because he's been a terrible kick returner. He was doing both kick and punt returners, and he's been a terrible kick returner. He makes dumb decisions when he on the kickoffs. He doesn't understand when to just kneel it, and so that's why we signed Dante Moncrief to the the active roster. He took over the kick return, so now Olszewski is purely a punt returner. He's a monster at punt returner. I don't know why, but he had that nice touchdown. He's had 2 touchdowns. One was called back. He had this one that was actually not called back because it was stupid holding call. But yeah, so New England beat the Chargers kind of technically.
Matthew Berry here to help you set it.
And then we got our ass beat yesterday. And yesterday's loss was so bad. I'm just gonna sum it up.
Matthew Berry here to help you.
Yeah.
Suck.
I think that was probably Herbert's worst game of the season thus far.
Yeah, granted,
in
it's
Miami.
Belichick eats young quarterbacks for breakfast. The only thing you
Apparently
can
not
really say
Drew
about
Lock though, unfortunately.
Drew Lock didn't even do good against the team.
I would have preferred if
2
Belichick
deep
had
balls.
beat him.
2 deep balls to Tim Patrick. That's how we lost that game. Was Tim Patrick
And Brandon McManus.
Okay. Tim Patrick got 2 good long balls.
Yeah, Chargers, this isn't a recipe for success, just saying. Having your rookie quarterback throw 53 times is not a recipe for success. 53 attempts, 26 completions, 209 yards, 49%, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's not a recipe for success there. Chargers. Kind of got to run the ball there, friend.
And
Matthew Berry here to help you
who
set a
else
new high
could,
score.
Not run the ball. New England. I don't know if I have to look it up because I really don't. I'm not into advanced stats as much as
Matthew Berry here.
I can't say this with certainty, but I guarantee you, Josh McDaniels calls halfback dive on first down out of I form at minimum 30% of the time. And I swear that's probably low. Because he does it every goddamn drive. I understand we're an inside run team. I'm all fine with that. Can we stop running it out of I form every play? I understand Cam Newton really can't throw football this year.
I also
Can't
didn't
understand.
realize Jared Stemma actually had played in this game too.
To be honest, it was just as bad as Cam. The only thing I'm going to say about the loss, beside suck, is we have no heart. We have absolutely no heart. Any heart we had got smacked in the mouth by Cam Akers. That's all I can say.
Cam Akers, my boy.
Moving on. It was just an L. It was just an L. It was degrading, but it was an L.
If we're looking at, I just want to point something out. New England passed the ball 22 times, ran the ball 43. Los Angeles passed the ball 53 times, ran the ball only 15 times. And both of their ball carriers, Austin Eckler, 4.5 yards per carry. Kalen Ballage, 4.9 yards per carry. They only had 15 carries between the two of them, averaging over 4.5 yards per carry each.
Jesus.
That's
Kalen
criminal.
Ballage, though.
That is criminal.
Kalen Ballage destroyed the Dolphins. I remember that. That was funny. Yeah, so the Patriots games were pretty unremarkable, both of them. I've never been so not excited about a 45-0 game. Okay. Like it was probably the most boring 45-0 game I've ever witnessed. The only thing, one thing I'm gonna say about Cam, great leadership. His play is just not there. He just hasn't been there this season, man. You know, I don't know. I feel like him playing this bad could lead to him re-signing New England, or maybe one more one-year prove-it deal, because he has locker rooms full support.
That's what worries me about Drew Lock, honestly.
Just don't see him starting next year. I feel like he'll be a backup. That's just me. I don't think any team in the league has seen Cam Newton's game this season and been like, yeah, there's my quarterback.
Yeah. Apparently some of your fellow Patriots fans have somehow seen that from I don't know where. I don't know what.
Listen, man, I wanted Cam to succeed because I want New England to succeed, but he's a great leader because I feel like our locker room was not in a good position beforehand. When Brady, after Brady left, and when we only had Stidham and Hoyer, the locker room was not good. Apparently, that's what I've heard. The locker room was pretty disheveled and not there. So, Cam Newton kind of fixed that. His play just hasn't matched that leadership level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, moving on. Let's talk about your Broncos.
Oh God.
Condolences.
That was. I think Drew Lock started the game, throwing an interception. That's exactly how he ended the game. That's all I have to say about the Broncos-Chiefs game. I don't. Brock Osweiler, you need to shut up. Brock Osweiler needs to shut up. Right before the podcast, I googled Drew Lock just to try and just look at his stats, and there's an article by Sports Illustrated saying Brock Osweiler says that the Broncos need to give Drew Lock at least 3 years.
I think that's pretty fair, man. I think y'all should do that.
Yo.
I'm sorry about my dog talking in the background. He's having a little moment.
Yeah.
Dork dog.
I'm just a broken record at this point for the Broncos. Just
Yeah.
no. No lock.
It's just been a season, man. I realize how bad New England's played this season. I realize, hey, at least we're not the Broncos. You know what I mean? Man, there's a lot of.
I'd
Patriots
actually
fans.
probably
I
rather
don't
be the
even-
Broncos because our players are a lot younger and we have a better draft capital.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Patriots fans that are acting like this is like we're like a poverty franchise that hasn't won anything in 10 years. Like, dude, we won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. You need to calm down. Okay,
Those fans need to have
dude.
uh,
Either leave the bandwagon or stop playing the pity card. No one pities us. We have no reason. to pity
literally no one. Literally
Not even
no one.
our own fans should pity us because dude, we're the most spoiled fan base in any sport team ever. So stop, okay? Stop. I actually had an argument with one of my buddies of the Patriots fan, and he was like, "Oh, you just don't understand how hard this season's been." I'm like, "Dude, we won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Calm down, okay? It's not a big deal. We're having a rough season. Move on." Anyway, that's a rant I could take an hour on. It's just some Patriots fans are just something else, man.
I think that's a rant anyone could take an hour on. Any football fan.
There's just something else, man. They're special. Not the good way.
Your fans are as special as the Charger special teams unit.
Anyway, I'm not laughing at that because it's terrible.
I'll laugh
The
at
Eagles
it 'cause it's my own
Packers game.
shitty joke.
The Eagles Packers game. Did you see it? It was a travesty.
Why would I watch that?
I watched it. It was bad. They finally benched Wentz. I don't think it's gonna change anything, in my opinion. Hurts threw a couple nice passes, I guess. Just don't. The offense, I think, is the main issue. I'm not going to ride on it too long because I think everyone knows my opinion on Doug Peterson's coaching this season.
I think
All I'm going to say is when you have a fast receiver like Jalen Reagor, who's so young, so much burst, has so much potential, and he runs one route, and that's just a streak route up the middle, come up with something better, please. It's sad, you can definitely tell who kind of carried that team to that Super Bowl. It wasn't Nick Foles. It wasn't Doug Peterson. It was Frank Reich.
Yeah.
And it's simple. I don't think that Eagles team wins a Super Bowl without Frank Reich. That team is, it's something, man. So Hurts is the starter moving forward. And,
Probably the only reason I'll actually watch the Eagles next week.
We'll see. I think this is probably the end of Wentz in Philly. I don't know if he comes back.
I don't know
I
if
know
there's
it's really hard to move him.
It's going to be extremely hard to move him.
I have a feeling, knowing the NFL and how its cap is structured, there's a way to move on from Wentz. Whether that's the other team getting a pick in return for Wentz,
The Broncos.
and they maybe,
yeah.
That's what I feel like. I feel like it's going to be a move where whatever team gets Wentz is going to have to pay a lot of his contract, and they're probably going to have to spread the dead money out. And the Eagles are probably going to have to pay some dead money in the future. I feel like it's possible, though. I could be wrong. I'm not a front office executive, but I don't see Wentz returning, in my opinion.
Yeah, the teams with the most cap space, as of it'd be probably 2021 in cap space, according to Overcap, would be Jacksonville, New York Jets. Ooh, this is an interesting one. The Colts.
Yeah, because they're so stingy.
Yeah.
With their money.
Patriots, Washington, Cincinnati, Miami, Tampa Bay.
I honestly, and I want your opinion on this, since you're more of a draft guy than I. I mean, we're both pretty knowledgeable on the draft, but I know you're a step above me when it comes to it. Do you think with this COVID season, I don't think Trey Lance has Trey Lance even played a game this season? I don't know.
He played that one sort of like showcase game. Yes.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is because of COVID, and Justin Fields is only going to end up playing a maximum of 6 games, maybe 7 if they make the playoffs. If Field only playing 7 games, with Trey Lance only having a couple games under his belt this season.
Yeah, with only his.
Is it possible that a team like Jacksonville or another team that's picking in the top 3 or 4 that needs a quarterback that doesn't get Trevor Lawrence, do you think it's possible they trade for Wentz? Because Wentz has proved he's got top 10 quarterback potential. I think he's reached top 10 quarterback status before this season. I think we both agree to that.
Yeah.
Probably look stupid for that, but I think with that potential and with the contract you're going to have to pay a little bit, do you think it's possible that a team could move down from pick 2, maybe get a pick from the Eagles, and then get Wentz? In your opinion, do you think that's something that could happen?
I mean, it's the NFL. Anything can happen. I personally, if you have an opportunity to get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence, those are like the 1A, the one, and then the number 2. I don't think you pass on Justin Fields for Carson Wentz, especially after this last season. Especially if you're Jacksonville, you don't really have quite all the pieces there to where you're just like a quarterback away. They still got a little bit more that they got to work on. So maybe if Dak doesn't get re-signed, no, that's in division. Never mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I was just throwing that idea out there. Again, like I'm saying, it's probably not going to happen. I was just tossing that idea out there because I feel like it's
barring cap space, if their cap space wasn't so terrible, I would take a shot at, say, Atlanta, but their cap space is absolutely atrocious to deal with, so that's out of the conversation. I don't think it happens.
Yeah, I think that it's easier to move on from a coach than a quarterback, with the contract that Wentz has. So, there's a good chance they just fire Peterson, put a new coach in that Wentz knows, and move on. At the same time, I feel like a lot of Philadelphia fans have really turned on Wentz. And they weren't really that big on Wentz beforehand because, Foles was that Super Bowl quarterback. Yeah. And I know that's not Wentz's fault, but I feel like a lot of Philly fans have turned on Wentz this season.
And we also got to keep in mind Wentz is already 27 years old.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was an old rookie.
Yeah.
So something just to keep an eye on.
He'll be 28 on the 30th, actually, of December.
Ooh.
So very close to the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
Especially with all the injuries.
But at the same time, at the same time with quarterback though, you're seeing more quarterbacks play longer though.
We have, but he also has that injury history they have to keep in mind as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, just something interesting. Just me clickbaiting. Don't worry about it. Rams Cardinals played. Yay. Really. It was not as good of a game as I was hoping. That's pretty much it. There's really, a lot of
Washington
games.
Pittsburgh. That's pretty much the only notable thing.
Yo, the Steelers are gone. That was a great game. I loved that game. I actually picked that upset. In my god damn it!
I hate you so much. I hate
myself too. So it's okay. Yeah. Did you? There's 2 things I want to talk about. First of all, Washington. Their whole team identity is running the football. Why is Big Ben throwing it 50 times against the Washington team?
Who knows?
Why? Big Ben is like 39, dude. Why is he throwing it 55 times in a game he doesn't have to? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Beside that, Alex Smith pulled a freaking Chad move at halftime that I love.
I mean, I saw Steelers fans get mad. That's like you literally did the same thing against Ravens.
Right?
Why are you complaining?
Like a week ago, and I think we talked about. We'll bring it up anyway. Quick recap. So Steelers Ravens are playing. Yay! Ravens had a chance to punch in the ball near the end of the half, and so they run the ball up the middle and they get stopped on the 2 with about 12 seconds left or 11 seconds left. So they have enough time to get up, spike, and get another shot at the end zone or a field goal. Well, some Steelers player just laid on the ball for an extra 6 seconds. Oops. and that messed up the timing of the ref and everything else. And boom, halftime. Then you go fast forward to this week. Alex Smith, it's in a similar situation. They have a chance at a field goal, 8 seconds left, and they run the ball in, and they realize Alex Smith realizes they're not going to get the field goal unit on in time. So he takes the ball, darts to the sideline, and since the ref can't find the ball and there's not enough time to get the K ball out, he had to call a official timeout because there was no ball to kick the field goal with, and you're not allowed to do that. So was it illegal? Yeah. Was it intentional? Hell
Yes.
yeah. Was it awesome? Hell yeah. I loved it. I love the move. Hey.
Smart.
It's not cheating, it's just expanding the rules a little bit.
Says the Patriots fan.
Listen, well, there's a difference between recording your opponent's film films and taking the ball out of bounds.
Didn't one of Al Davis's old mottos used to be, "If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying"?
Listen, man, just how it be, and sometimes, but no, I mean, I'm not a cheater. Don't I hate cheaters, but
what Alex Smith and the Steelers did, that's Raiders legal, but it's not technically NFL legal.
But anyway, I was all for the move. I feel like if you can get, and hey, there was a good chance that the referee could have found it and flagged Smith for it, and I wouldn't have been mad at that. I think that's a smart move. I feel like that's just kind of part of football where you're just kind of trying to outsmart the other team. And when you have the awareness, you make that play. Steelers did it last week. Yep. Washington did it this week. Oh, well, move on. People that get upset about it, I think, are just a little sensitive. Nicer word. Bills Niners. What a game. Loved it. Mainly because I like seeing
Josh Allen.
Am I a weird Patriots fan for liking Josh Allen?
No.
Love Josh Allen's game.
He's gained my MVP vote. If I had to vote, I'd vote for Josh Allen, honestly.
I kind of made this. Carson Wentz right now is what people swore Josh Allen was going to be.
This is true.
Boy, I stuck by Allen, man. I was a huge fan of Allen coming out. Man's done it, man. It's so cool to see.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a big fan of Allen coming out, mainly because John Elway has turned me off to that style of quarterback. It's like every time I see a John Elway style, like the kind he likes quarterback, I just get Paxton Lynch flashbacks. I'm like, no, please, no, Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler, no.
I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm a pretty good judge of quarterbacks when it comes to like coming out of a draft. I'd say I'm pretty good at it. I'm not trying to brag or not, but I would say I'm pretty good at it. I got that vibe from Josh Allen. I was watching his college tape. I just knew that was gonna. I knew. Oh, people were saying, oh, his completion percentage. Yeah. Who cares? He was great.
Yeah, he put in the work, and so did the coaching staff, and it really paid off.
And got to give Sean McDermott his due. He's been really good with Buffalo. He's a really underrated coach.
I think
again
McDermott should get Coach of the Year. Honestly,
I think it's up there. I feel like it's gonna be between him. I feel like Ron Rivera should be in contention if they win the NFC West. I think Joe Judge should be in contention because I think Joe Judge took a team that was supposed to be tanking, and they're in the lead of the NFC East.
Yeah,
I don't care about the record. I don't care about how bad the NFC East is.
You can throw in Flores in there too as well.
Exactly. The Coach of the Year is going to be whoever gets it deserves it. Yeah. There's about 4 or 5 deserving candidates, and I'm all for it. But hey, who knows? Hey, Joe Judge has been that dude. I love watching Joe Judge coach. It's fun. He's another type of guy that I when I hopefully coaching in the NFL, he's the type of coach that I would want to be like. Energetic and just listen. Okay, so I have an affinity for cussing. Okay,
yes.
So does Joe Judge. You know, maybe I do get a little loud. Okay, so just see. I enjoy watching Joe Judge. He's a cool guy. I'm happy to see some Patriot coordinators having some success.
First time in for
First time in
No,
forever.
okay. I'm so close to kicking out of this call right now. I'm so close to just ending the call and doing the rest by myself. No, bad.
We should have a karaoke night, man. It'd be fun.
Down. Let's do it. Let's do it. Luke Combs lookalike.
Let's do it, man. No, I shaved my beard. I don't have Luke Combs' beard anymore.
Dang. You can grow it back by the time we'll do it.
Definitely, but yeah, no beard for me right now. Cowboys got demolished on Tuesday Night Football.
Yes.
Love to see it. Really do. It's nice, I must say.
Lamar still has regressed with his passing ability.
Yeah, he definitely hasn't taken that step forward. Rushing game is still great, but he definitely needs to find something in the offseason.
Shout out to
I guess this is what it is.
Also, shout out to Des Bryant for finally gonna get a revenge game against the Cowboys. And then while he's warming up, he gets pulled from the game because he tested positive for COVID.
And I like how the NFL's like, oh, we didn't notice anything off in the contact tracing. And then they show pictures of him hugging like 10, 12 Cowboys and a bunch of his teammates. Like, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, it was stupid. It was most likely, hopefully it's a false positive, but yeah.
I think he said he's already. No, I believe he basically confirmed that he has it, and that he's taking the rest of the year off. He's opting out for the rest of the year, at least from what I've seen on his Twitter.
Yeah, he did say he was done, but I feel like he'll probably come back. No one
You can
said.
finally say that Des caught it.
You're talking about me with my singing, bro. Your bad jokes are on the same level.
I didn't insult your singing. I'm just saying
Yes,
not
you
to sing.
did, bro.
No, I didn't insult your singing. I'm just saying not to sing anything from that. You can sing if you want, just not that. That's what I had a problem with.
So, game of the week. Obviously, Patriots Rams is mine. No. My condolences to anyone that actually had to watch that massacre. It was pretty
Cowboys Bengals.
So there's still two teams on byes because of COVID. Baltimore and Cleveland are on bye weeks this week.
Yes.
There's some interesting games, I guess. There's like two, I would say. Oh, I'm dumb. Baltimore Cleveland's the Monday night game, not a bye week. You dumbass. Idiot. Anyway, well, I feel like one of us is going to pick one game of the week. The other one's going to pick the other. So, what's your game of the week?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs and Dolphins.
Ooh, I see.
I want to see what Flores and his defense can conjure up for the Chiefs. Maybe they can take something out of Denver's playbook, since we like basically shut them down completely for like a vast majority of that game. I want to see if the Dolphins can pull the up. I'm gonna say Dolphins are able to pull the upset here,
bro. That
especially
would be
at home.
insane. I would love that so much. That'd be awesome to see. I'm not gonna go with the obvious answer because you didn't. Pittsburgh Buffalo is gonna be a great game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna enjoy it. I think Buffalo is gonna win that game, but my game of the week is not. I can't wait to see this awful football game. Alex Smith returns to the Niners. It is going to be so fun. I am going to enjoy it. It's going to be Nick Mullins, Alex Smith, and it's going to be terrible, and I am for it.
How about Andy Dalton's revenge game against the Bengals? Andy Dalton versus Ryan Finley.
Oh, jeez. Ryan Finley start? Oh, because Allen got injured. You're correct.
You mean Burrow?
Yeah. Yeah.
You said Allen.
No, well, yeah, Brandon Allen was the backup.
Oh, yeah.
You big numbnut. Can't wait, but yeah, Washington, man, and the foot, that's gonna be so fun. I'm all for it. It's gonna be primetime too. That's gonna be so terrible.
No, it's not primetime.
Great. Oh, it's 3:20. I cannot read. Okay, I am legally blind. I passed
Primetime is
calculus, but I
Steelers
don't know how
Buffs.
to read an NFL skit.
Steelers Bills.
I can get an A in calculus, but I can't read an NFL schedule. Yeah, any NFL teams listening to this, maybe you should look at the other candidates for the job.
Great confidence you have in yourself.
This is I'm going to scrub this episode from the archive.
You're not the one who has control over that.
Damn it.
Need I remind you?
Damn it.
I tried giving you a little bit of control, but you decided, nah, I'm not going to do anything.
Listen, if I can't even read an NFL schedule, you think I'm going to be able to do these recordings? That's what I thought.
I gave you all the info you needed. Alright. So let's shake it up. Who's your fantasy player of the week?
Okay, so there's a couple interesting options, but one of them I was gonna say Cam Akers. Trust me, 100% not. But I was high on Cam Akers. I almost picked him up in fantasy, but I didn't do it because I'm a numbnut.
I drafted him when we first started, but I dropped him since.
Yeah. Looking back again this week, with a lot of these weeks, since there's so many tanking teams, I feel like it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everyone should be starting Buffalo's defense because I think Pittsburgh's offense is in a huge rut. I think Buffalo's defense is like a defense that I would put up for 15 points this week. Especially with these first round of the playoffs, people are starting to streamline defenses more. People are starting to cut players from their team because it's in playoffs. Seattle's playing the Jets. I know Seattle has been terrible, but if you're not starting every freaking Seahawks receiver, including Josh Gordon, who I don't even think is eligible, you're smoking. It's like Josh Gordon. You're smoking.
Stay off.
And then finally, installment of me with my quarterback carousel. I have Aaron Rodgers versus Detroit this week. Yes, sir. Aaron Rodgers versus Detroit. Gonna be good. And actually, Dallas playing Cincinnati. I feel like both Dallas running backs are gonna have a huge game. Tony Pollard. I feel like
I love Tony Pollard. He's a starting running back on almost any other team.
You would ask me, blindfold me, and I didn't know anything about the NFL.
Is it bad? I honestly might take Pollard over Zeke.
That's what I was about to say. If you would ask me, if you were to watch Zeke run the ball and watch Tony Pollard run the ball, and you told me Zeke was the one making $90 million, I'd slap you because it just don't look right. Tony Pollard's burst is
it's next level. His burst is amazing.
Literally hits the line of scrimmage, and you're like, oh, cool. He's about to get tackled, though, and he's 5 yards in front of the guy. All right, man.
His acceleration is unreal.
A freaking Ferrari just over there. All right, man. Yeah, Tony Pollard. I feel like I would start Tony Pollard every week if he was available in fantasy. Great guy. But that's my fantasy players of the week. Again, if you listen to me, my condolences. I'm somehow in the fantasy playoffs. I don't know how.
Because you won our division. And our division
it's like the NFC East.
Terrible.
It's like the NFC East.
Yep.
If I win the championship after going like 7-6, that'd be
dude.
great.
I'll come to Mississippi and give you a crisp high five.
I have to beat my parents too. My parents are running a team. They're like the best team or second best team in the dang league.
I almost beat them if it wasn't for Devontae Adams and Travis Kelce. I would have won.
Devontae Adams called game though.
And no, I was actually still alive after Devontae Adams, but Travis Kelce was the nail in the coffin.
Their team is just so good. It's insane. All right, so what's one of your college guys?
I'm gonna go with another Florida State guy this week.
Ooh.
The second one this season. I actually like a lot of Florida State defenders. They don't have a great program, and their team isn't very good, but some of their pieces on defense are very intriguing. This one's no different, except this guy probably not very well known or looked at. He's projected like 6th, 7th round pick. Amari Gaynor, their linebacker. He is a redshirt sophomore, 6'3", 227 pounds. He's long, rangy, and athletic. He's very fast. He's played rush linebacker. He's played single high safety, man coverage, traditional off-ball linebacker. He's done it all basically as a linebacker. His versatility is probably one of the best in this entire draft class on the defensive side of the ball. He can carry running backs on wheel routes pretty well. Great closing speed and shoots gaps extremely well. Burst is great. His movement skills are smooth. He transitions very well. You could use a bit more strength, but he's very competitive. Those are his pros. His cons are he lacks power. He needs to add a bit more weight if he wants to be a 3-down backer in the NFL. That's where he lacks his run support currently. In tight ends, he could be wishy-washy. He's either playing extremely well against tight ends or he's bad against tight ends. And he needs to work on reading the backfield better. But if you're using him as like a passing down backer, sub linebacker, especially in like the later rounds, I don't see a reason not to take a shot on this guy. I think he could be someone that might go up draft boards as we get like closer to the combine. Maybe like shoot up from like 6th to undrafted free agent, maybe up to like a 4th or 5th.
Yeah. Florida State, like Marvin Wilson. I think we were talking about Marvin Wilson the other day.
Yeah.
And watching him, some of this tape that I've seen, he's literally going to be so fun to watch at the NFL level because he's agile enough to play 4-3 D tackle. He's also, I think, strong enough to stay in on those guaranteed run plays as maybe like a rush left end.
Yeah.
I really do like to see. I can't wait to see Marvin Wilson. He's gonna be so fun. He was kind of what I thought Justin Matabuki would be. Baltimore, and Matabuki kind of got jumped over the depth chart by Calais Campbell and Derek Wolfe. So you haven't really seen much out of him, but he that's kind of what I would be like my comp for him. I just wish I would have seen some Matabuki from Baltimore. He's only been using like deep packages.
We got Marvin Wilson. We got Amari Gaynor. We got Asante Samuel Jr. We got Hamza Nasiruddin.
Filthy, man. Oh my God.
Florida State's underrated for some of their defensive prospects in this class, honestly.
They have a great group of talent. They just don't have a team.
Yeah.
I know that's probably really weird to hear, but I think they're an acclamation of talent. They're not really a football team.
Unlike Washington. They're literally a football team.
Imagine being undefeated and losing to a team without a name. Tragic. I know that's probably the 20th time you've heard that this week, but more for you. So Friday podcasting.
Woo.
Because why not? Apparently we also need therapy because we podcast. But that's besides.
I remember that.
Yeah, there was on Twitter this chick said, I don't know why men start podcasts instead of going to therapy. Because if I walked up to my therapist and said, hey, you want to talk football for an hour? Pretty sure you'd just push me out of the office. Bro, like, he listened to me talk football for an hour and probably just go, and probably just jump out the window. No, it's just a thing, man. So, this is our therapy.
You just go up to a therapist, like, hey, you want to hear about the 46 defense?
I will pay you $100 for you to listen about how the Chargers were the best offensive team in the league, the best defensive team in the league, and they missed the playoffs because their special teams suck. And then they'd be like, sir, this is Wendy's.
I just need someone to talk to. No one talked football with me.
Anyway, yeah. Again, I don't even know what episode this is, like week 22
this is 22
of us being
I believe.
Tragically unfunny.
If I titled it correctly, this is 22.
Yes, sir. This poor Mike's gotten its money worth already. God, I went back and listened to episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
That mic was terrible.
I think I was using a different. I think I've actually also switched mics.
Yeah.
Throughout our time. I used to have a blue snowball, but my computer, I don't know if it was my computer or that, just like decided they wanted to stop working together. And so I'm just using a basic headset mic they use for Xbox.
Yeah. So I was using for my PlayStation. Boy, that was terrible. Anyway, well, if you did you end the episode yet or not?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just preemptively sent you the link.
Okay. If y'all listen this far, I apologize because that must have been a rough hour for you. But we'll be back next week. Hopefully not on Friday if we can schedule it better. But we'll be back. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I start my promotion next week, so I get off at 1:30 in the afternoon now.
That's good. I have on a break, so I'm off for the next 3 weeks. We will see you